Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And this is wife Jarrett with Believe in the Run.
Yeah, Jarrett, when you're talking, try aiming your face into the mic.
Dude, gotten zero over there.
I know. I'm really messing this up.
All right.
Got it.
So nervous.
Don't put Jarrett on ice for the first.
I know. I'm trying to.
Not the
ice
first
him.
time he's been here, but it's first time in a while.
All right. Well, this is an exciting episode because it's a recap episode. Everybody loves a recap episode.
Yeah, we had some fun in Brooklyn this weekend.
Mm-hmm. The three of us did.
Mm.
Well, Robbie
Sorry.
was doing other fun stuff in some other land.
I was in North Carolina.
The pillow.
North Carolina is a place that exists as mountainous, beachy. Which, speaking of beach, I was at the Outer Banks. That is a long stretch of land.
The Outer Banks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 4 hours from one end to the other, or something ridiculous. Maybe not that long, but it's a long way.
That sounds a
Are
long
you
way.
talking driving?
Yeah.
That's not accurate.
Yeah, that's like here past
Yeah.
New York.
It's definitely a couple hours because you have to drive about 30 miles an hour, and it's a one-lane road, at least for the upper part of it. That's a little frustrating.
Okay.
That's cool. Hey, we got a pillow, Meg.
Yeah. So before we dive into all this
right.
good stuff, we got to talk about our sponsor, Lagoon Pillows.
Look, there she is.
Now you see it. Now you still see it.
Yeah, it's these pillows are amazing. Meg, you know what I did?
I do because I saw you do it.
I did. I took one of the samples home, but it wasn't, you take the test to find out what's right for you. And this one was soft. So I was like, I grabbed the bag of filling and I basically made 2 Lagoon pillows into one.
Wow.
So I have this giant, thick, cushy Lagoon pillow now.
So it's still soft, but it's more filling.
It's like a double stuff.
Like an
Oh,
Oreo?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Ooh.
Which
Now we're talking Jarrett's
You had me at
language.
Oreo.
I'm in there. Didn't we have this whole conversation when we were in Boston about the double stuff, or was that another friend?
It feels like a conversation we would have.
The double stuff is too much stuff.
Hey, Jarrett, he called you a friend.
I know, right? I thought we were like best acquaintances.
It was a slip. Slip of the mouth.
You're in the inner circle now.
So, but the double stuff is too much stuff. I think most people can agree on that.
I
remember,
don't think I do.
I overheard Robbie having this conversation, and I didn't have anything to add to it because I agree with you.
Okay.
It's too much.
No,
Yeah.
I think I
disagree.
like the double stuff.
This-
I'm not really into Oreos in general, but if I was, I would go with the double stuff.
See, this surprises me because you're not a frosting girl.
Right.
I don't know. There are frosting girls, but
It's Wendy. Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy. Yeah.
She's a frosty girl.
but like when you make a cake or something, it's not like you're like, oh, I like the frosting. You're not licking the
I'm also
spoon.
not really a cake person. I just make them for people.
So your opinion on double stuff shouldn't matter
It's
at all.
invalid. You're right. It's
Yeah.
I
invalid.
just
Hey,
don't get.
Push down your hair. You got like.
But
a
the
thing.
the Oreo thins is the best of all the worlds, in my opinion.
Who's eating the
Okay.
cookie part
Of the thins?
of any Oreo? You're just going straight frosting.
What?
Which is
That's
why.
not a
which
real
is why
thing.
Okay.
You open it
I'm
up.
gonna blow your mind. Screw them both and go with Milano from Pepperidge Farms.
Someone's bougie.
Yeah, that's like a
Dude, that is for rich people.
Oh, aren't
A
they?
Milano cookie?
Yeah.
They come in tissue. That's why they're.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up
That-
thinking that was definitely for rich people.
They came out at special occasions. That's a reverse Oreo. It's got the thin chocolate inside with a crispy wafer outside.
I'm still not even sure what it is because it's a higher tier than what I'm used to.
Yeah, I guess
most of Pepperidge Farm products,
when they came out with the chunky cookies.
except for the goldfish.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sorry, say the chunky
Yeah.
cookie thing.
I mean, you had the Milanos, the mint Milanos. Then they came out with like the chunky like cookies that had like real chocolate.
Oh yeah,
Back when Chips Ahoy was your only other option.
right.
Which, by the way, I think is an underrated cookie.
Yeah, we should probably stop talking about this because I will go on forever.
So
about-
is your double stuffed pillow better than a regular stuffed pillow?
Well, I think I like the one that I got that's designed for my head, that I went through and answered the questions. But this one's perfect because it's an extra pillow to prop up for like if I'm watching a show like Succession before I go to bed or something like that.
A really calming show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
eating your Milanos with your pillows behind your back.
Watching Succession.
With my decaf espresso.
Yeah, probably pour over.
Hanging out with Alex Arslan.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so if you want a pillow, you can go to lagoonsleep.com/believe. Use the code believe for 15% off.
And believe it or not, the owner, according to Megan, is a good runner.
Okay.
That's part of the pitch.
That's in our sponsor
No, but it is
contract.
important. It's like
is
the
now.
reason why I think Lagoon Pillows is making such a push in the running industry and, talking about recovery and sleep is because he's actually an athlete
Yeah,
and
he
uses
gets
it.
it.
Yeah.
By runners for runners.
Yeah. Boo boo.
Yep. FOMO.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of FOMO, I had a little bit of FOMO when I try not to look too much because then I'm like, man, I wish I was there. At the Brooklyn half marathon this past weekend that y'all were at
I'll tell you what,
with New Balance.
you're going to enjoy some of the new team members.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe
It
that.
is such a good crew.
Man.
Such a good crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a good time. Not
Like-
not that the last crew wasn't
No,
solid,
yeah.
it was
but
good.
It's nice.
But I think
yeah.
now we kind of know what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Like the first
Oh,
time
yeah.
it's just kind of like bumbling through. And then we bring in this new crew and they're all high energy with like excitement for what we're doing. So before I think we were all like, there was some nervous energy
Yeah, definitely.
for us. And then everybody was kind of like, what are we doing? Now we're like, here's what we're doing. And they're pumped and ready to do it. And
Yeah,
I think
that's
that
cool.
everybody who's on the team is really excited to participate.
So this was kind of step one in the Train to New York City 2. Escape
Yeah.
from New York.
This,
Escape to New
To
York.
New York.
there you
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Although I'm starting to like, I was like in my pity party this weekend during the race. And I won't jump ahead too far. I was like, New York really just beats me up when I'm running. And then I'm like, well, I did have my 10-mile PR there in Prospect Park.
Oh.
You got
So-
to run up that hill. So maybe there is hope for this fall.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so we all trained up, or we all met in Brooklyn. Some of us flew. Most of us trained up from Baltimore.
When you say trained up,
Yeah, I was
Took
trying
the
to.
train.
Okay.
Amtrak.
yeah,
specifically.
There we
I
go.
did-
I
Is that a
think
thing?
157 was the train number.
Yeah,
It was, which
Northeast
is-
regional.
Yeah.
Trained up. I need to start using that. I didn't even think that was a verb.
What- I think you can just say things like that.
You
and
can.
It's fine.
I
Megan
love
can
it.
say anything.
I
Yeah.
love it.
But I will tell you, the more we travel by train, the more I like it.
It's just so easy.
Like
Yeah.
you can bring a beverage.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
bring.
Literally
You-
anything.
You get there like 5 minutes before. However, this I guess goes back to all of your bathroom stories. I prefer a bathroom on a plane, even though it's smaller,
Really?
because going on the train,
Wow.
you're just constantly worried that you're going to fall over,
That's true.
and it's a bit terrifying.
I kind of like that. It's like the challenge. It's like trying to shoot an apple off someone's head.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Wow.
I will tell you,
should
the
do
train
that
home, the bathroom did not smell good. There was like, I don't know if they have tanks that they didn't empty, but oof.
Yeah, I feel like in. Sorry, Meg.
We always go
On,
bathroom.
on
Yeah,
planes,
I mean, it's
does it,
just what it is now.
is it just they don't let it go over top of the U.S. Do they?
No.
they're not dropping it out.
Can you imagine we get like our cars would all have like doo-doo on them and
How
stuff?
is that even a thought in your head?
I mean, I don't know. I thought like maybe after a certain altitude, it just kind of goes
Is it
disintegrates.
No.
because when you flush it, it makes such a loud noise that you're worried you're going to be sucked out into it? Is
it
that
though kind of sounds like that's
Yeah.
happening.
I would just look on the runway for those trucks that aren't fuel trucks that come and hose up to the plane.
Oh, that's what happens.
Yeah, they just it's like a boat. The same thing in
Yeah.
a boat. They
Yeah.
don't dump into the ocean.
Right.
I hope they
too.
don't.
Some do.
Yeah, probably some do.
Well, you know how if they have too much fuel or something, maybe that's only when they're crashing. They have to let
Jettison.
dump fuel.
Are you talking like when they're like, we need to lose weight, throw the luggage
Yeah.
and the passengers overboard?
Yeah. Well, I remember. I think I told a story
Watching way too
before.
many movies.
But when I used to clean boats down near Andrews Air Force Base, those were in such horrible shape from the jet fuel that would and like
Yeah.
that would land on cover the boats and stuff. They're impossible to clean.
So I got a question for you. We ended up on toilets again.
Okay.
And who brought that up? Was that you?
you did.
No,
That was my fault.
it was.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ma-
Jarrett.
Did you
Well-
guys hear
well,
the
with the new-
accusation that Megan just
I
slung
know.
at me hard?
With the new form of transportation,
You were the follow up.
we needed to talk about a different toilet, I guess, right?
Yeah, always.
Never talked about train toilets.
That's the unwritten rule.
Okay.
So
Pass.
that we took the train to Penn Station, right, Meg?
We did. We took the train to Penn Station and then we all hopped in some Ubers and got ourselves over to Brooklyn. We were staying at the Marriott by the Brooklyn Bridge.
Do you know what's always weird about the Brooklyn Bridge? It seems like the Statue of Liberty. You don't drive on the Statue of Liberty. It's an icon. You look at it, you marvel at it, and then you move on. I feel it's always so weird when you drive over the Brooklyn Bridge because you're like, this is actually a bridge. And there's people.
Wait, isn't the Brooklyn Bridge the one that you walk on?
You can. There's a walking lane, and there's
portion.
vendors that are up there selling like merch for it. But yeah, it's a beautiful bridge. But the Manhattan Bridge is also pretty. Like I look at
it's a landmark. You think it's of it
like
as a landmark.
You don't play sports in the Coliseum,
right?
You don't the Washington Monument.
It's such an iconic landmark. It's surprising that it's in use.
Yeah, that it's actual.
Yeah,
it's something that you would use. Anyway, that's me. So when the taxi went over it, and I
said you can't go here.
I'm like,
you
what
need
do
to get off.
Exactly.
You're breaking the law. All right. Did you play that song?
So yeah, we met all of the there was 7 of us from Baltimore on the train, and then we met Megan Featherston, Emily Heller, and Jess Movald.
And we also
Brooklyn.
I met Mary, who used to be Mary. Is it Whitmore?
Yes, Mary Whitmore from New York Roadrunners.
Yeah, that used to be the head of New York Roadrunners. Apparently, she's responsible for women and men getting different starts, for the rise of women's.
She's a big deal.
Yeah, she's huge.
Okay.
Like such a great person to the sport. But I met her because she was sitting there with our friend
Allie Feller,
who did the check-ins that one time.
Yeah.
She was there. She was there too.
She ran.
I did see she was there again. Yeah.
She ran with us, but as soon as we got to the hotel, she magically appeared with all of us and basically was like our pseudo 11th member that weekend.
Wow.
Was it Jess Mobile who called Jarrett and I frothy boys?
I don't know, but that sounds right.
Was it foamy boys or frothy?
I feel like it was frothy boys.
Wait, so Meg's a frosty girl and you're frothy boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought, okay. Well, I wasn't a frosty girl.
So yeah,
Oh, or the anti-frosty and you're
Okay.
frothy. So
The
maybe you're anti-frothy.
yeah. Are you?
I don't know.
Anyway, so we when we get there, while it was like we had a short turnaround because we got there in the afternoon. We're gonna race in the morning, and then we leave before like noon on Sunday. So we need to get the other video shot for our introduction to the team. So Meg and Brandon set up a little area, and it was kind of fun because it wasn't like blocked off or anything. So there's actual patrons of the hotel having to walk through it, but we looked like a big deal because we had cameras going.
We look
and
professional.
Oh, really?
It looked like, oh, what is this movie they're shooting?
Mm-hmm.
Did people ask you?
No.
They
but
didn't, but they were thinking it.
Did
We
anyone
we kept-
recognize Whitefoot Jarrett?
He got the most.
He did
call-outs.
get some call outs this time. Like his popularity, his cult like
Flipper
I will
feet.
tell you this. The New Balance team, when we were in the VIP area that we'll talk about here in a second, they were all excited to meet Jarrett. Like one guy jumped up from the table. I think was his name Chad? Was that Chad?
No, it was I think Sam.
No, Sam Maxwell didn't care about you.
No.
That's Seth.
Yeah,
Sam.
Seth.
It's
Oh,
Sam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seth.
Oh, the designer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a beard.
Yeah.
He was so excited to see Jarrett.
Nice. Did you feel like you were among your people since New Balance is the wide-footed, caters to wide-foot?
I did feel like I was a little bit at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice. That kind of kept me a little cool.
Did you actually walk around in your bare feet just to show off?
No, I didn't. That's only for the back rooms.
What about on the beat? What about at the
only.
end?
Fans only
Oh.
for that.
Yeah. What about the end of the? Aren't you on the beach at the end of the race?
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Meg. What's next
All
on
right,
the
yeah.
timeline?
Okay, so we film our intro videos, which all went great. I feel like everyone nailed it. And then Jen came and scooped us up at our hotel, and we walked over to the
Jen from New Balance.
Jen from New Balance. It's like the pre-party / expo /
What is the name of that area? It's like the River Walk or something. What
the
is it?
Brooklyn Bridge Park.
Brooklyn Bridge. Dude, first off, the walk over there was a gorgeous like neighborhood of Brooklyn.
Is that like the Brooklyn Heights Promenade or different?
I don't know, but I was shocked at how the view
Yeah,
was
it
right
was
across
so
the water
nice.
from what,
That-
Manhattan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where I got engaged.
Oh wow.
That's a good spot.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous, and the weather was perfect. So we're walking to the expo, Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
I see a dude in a full Spider-Man costume. like fully geared up in Spider-Man.
A dude or Peter Parker?
It was Peter Parker.
Okay.
But so I go up to him. He's wearing a Coral Space 2. So I have my camera. I'm like, hey, is the Coral Space 2 the official watch of, superheroes?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, hey, you guys are believing the run.
You're pointing to each other like the Spider-Man meme.
Exactly.
You're Spider-Man.
It was the greatest. Yeah. And so everybody was there. And so we introduced Spider-Man to everybody. But
Did he keep his mask on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time. Like, we never saw his face. And then what was really cute, though, is he was walking to the expo, too. And there was, like, a little kid, like a group of little kids. And when they saw Spider-Man, this little girl lost her
Really?
and ran up to him.
Ran
was,
up and
like,
gave him a
hugging
hug.
Yeah, like
It was the cutest thing.
Man, that's kind of cool.
And he stayed in character. He's like,
Yeah.
you would have thought Spider-Man was there.
And then he
Whoa.
charged them $40 for a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he was in Times Square. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
No, it was
cool.
pretty cool. And we actually saw him at the race.
I
later.
saw him in someone's reel. or something.
Low.
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
He ran with Low or around the same pace, I guess.
Yeah. So the actual expo is one of the coolest ones I've ever been
It was like,
to.
it was like a pre-party. Like there was a
Oh,
DJ
right.
out front.
Whoa.
There was
What are
like
the-
bean bags
cornhole?
you could hang out, cornhole. Des Linden was there signing books.
Whoa.
Of course, there was like the interior expo where you could just go buy merch and get
Plenty
your
of
bibs.
photo ops. Like
Yeah.
they had, like, they know how to put it together. Like you could take photos right in front of the Brooklyn Bridge. You could take photos in front of like the stuff they had mocked up of the course, your name on the board. There was a whole rock stage set up and people like, yeah, it was, and DJs. It was pretty lit.
And is it part of New York Roadrunners?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so we got our bibs. We got our VIP bibs, which was pretty nice.
Everyone
Except
except
for Brandon.
Except Brandon. Yeah, that's
Somehow he missed the fact that we said, hey, go to the VIP booth to
Yeah.
pick up your bibs.
I almost made the same mistake though, so I don't blame Brandon. So when you walked in, they had all the bib pickup.
Mm-hmm.
So I went right to the bib pickup, and then Jen ran over and was like, "Hey, you got to get your VIP stuff." So it could have happened to him.
What
too.
was different about
You
it?
get like a sticker on your bib that says VIP and then a wristband so that when you go
And a
to
different
the
bag.
start line, you get to go to a certain spot. And when you go to the finish line, you get to go to the suites of the baseball stadium versus the
Oh.
infield.
And your bag went someplace else.
Yeah.
So your check
In
bag.
the suites at the park.
Yes.
What baseball?
we were trying to
It's like
pronounce.
the Coney Island.
Oh, it's like a minor
Minor
league
league.
team.
What is
Okay.
that?
Oh, I'm not trying to pronounce that.
Right.
I wasn't
Phenomena-
either. I didn't want to be,
Phenomena. Dun, dun.
I didn't want to be
Da-da-da-da.
that idiot who did that.
Yeah.
So we get the VIP stuff, and we actually ran into the guys from Fleet Feet too.
Yep.
So like Dave and the gang, and it was just cool. It was a cool little setup, and they had everything you needed because Fleet Feet was there. I was able to get some Glide. Meg, you got an extra caffeinated Martin.
Yeah, I got a Morton, which was nice. So you could just buy a single one.
What else did you? Oh, we got that bar.
And yeah, what is it called?
The-
Solid.
Yeah,
Morton Solid.
Oh,
That,
yeah.
the glorified Chewy bar.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
But-
Quaker Oats.
I'm telling you, it hit the spot at the time because we were getting pretty hungry.
Yeah, at that point, anything's good.
You know what was crazy that you would have hated?
What?
The pollen.
Oh, yeah.
We were walking through the
Really?
park and like everybody is like coughing, sneezing, trying to cough stuff up.
Yeah.
Like it was heavy.
It was
duty.
wild. Like all of us were like, we don't really have allergies. And we walked to this one park and everyone just lost it, was like coughing up.
I feel like even when I was in New York like a month and a half ago, I felt like it was maybe the same.
Yeah, they said it's a super bloom or something this year that like all this extra pollen.
You just need to cut down more of the trees, right? That'll get rid of it.
I think that makes it more. I feel like pollen wasn't as big of a thing when we were kids.
I don't remember like if a
Right.
kid had allergies, it was almost like, oh, he's got a
Yeah,
disability.
you just make fun of. Like,
Yeah.
he's just a kid that gets made fun of, and he just had allergies.
See how hard you can hit him with a wiffle bat.
Yeah, and it was only imagine just because you sneeze, like you're doomed to be made fun of.
And your eyes got watery, and you had to take
Yeah, Benadryl.
And peanut allergies when we were a kid. Like if someone had a peanut allergy,
That didn't
you-
exist.
It was like
It wasn't
boy
a
in the
thing.
bubble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It was like that.
yeah. That kid goes to a whole other school.
Yeah, they didn't tell us not to bring peanut stuff to school. They told that kid not to come to
Those
school.
are the
Yeah.
homeschool kids.
Yeah, that was being inclusive was being exclusive at that point.
Yeah. Like they used to have peanuts on airplanes. Now they're like, maybe somebody.
Yeah,
has
peanuts
peanut
might
allergy.
even be an endangered species by the time this decade's over.
I love peanuts. You like that powdered peanut.
Keep that tea in there.
Megan goes through PB. I get it.
Yeah.
She goes through what's the PB powder?
That's it. That's what it's called.
PB powder. She goes through it like you wouldn't believe.
It's called pee-pee powder?
Yeah, she doesn't even use regular peanut butter anymore. I see her like stirring up peanut butter in a cup to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've used that. I never even knew that existed until Megan Featherston.
Yeah, that's how I got onto it.
Yeah.
Now she's hooked.
But it works.
Yeah. Okay, so we got our bibs, and then we walked to Botte, Brooklyn. There's a photo that Brandon put this in there of Jarrett walking in looking absolutely miserable. I'm not sure why.
The concern on my face, I don't think anyone has ever been that concerned.
What were you worried about?
I don't know.
Huh.
I think Jarrett had a little bit of nerves before the race.
He did.
And
Did we tell him that
Brandon captured it.
he brought his pregnant wife with him?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Allie,
Yeah. And
baby
then, I
Weisberg.
know.
Baby Jay.
Meg was like the crosswalk guard for Allie the entire trip, essentially standing between all the cars and Allie.
The cars in New York are aggressive.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Allie can't be walking out into a
It's
street.
the opposite of Tokyo. Like the
Oh, yeah,
cars are
definitely.
aggressive and the pedestrians are aggressive.
Yeah.
It's like a fight to survive.
Yeah. There's a lot of jostling going on.
So she's got like her arms out and she's like screaming at like some cars, essentially being like, "What are you doing?" And
Botte was like exactly what you would expect from a Brooklyn Italian eatery place. I mean, didn't it pretty much nail?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it had the Italian food we wanted. We carved up. I was told not to race the Brooklyn half, so I decided that martinis would be a good idea the night before. So we did that
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
to make sure the brakes went on at the start of the race. And we enjoyed pizza. You guys got something that looks crazy.
Chicken or pollo de parmigiane.
chicken parm, where we're from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was
Chicken parmesan.
one of the neatest
Parmesan.
versions of it I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like they pounded that chicken like to matzo shape. Like it was flat. It was pancake chicken. And
Yeah.
it took up the whole plate.
Pancake chicken.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I mean, it was delicious. So
So that was the night before the race?
Yeah.
Yeah. The best was Allison, ordered dessert. She's the only person to order dessert.
Smart.
So when they came and brought her dessert, I started singing happy birthday and everybody joined in.
Nice.
So we got
And
her
then they
happy
brought
birthday
her a second dessert. And
with
then
a
the
candle
whole,
in
and
it.
then the
Yeah.
whole restaurant
Yeah.
started singing.
They brought her another.
And it was obviously not her birthday.
No.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah. If one person gets dessert, they're getting the happy birthday.
Yeah, and it worked. Well, I was surprised because normally, I would tail off, but everybody seemed to be in the mood
Nice.
for it. So we just went with it.
That is
Yeah.
a good crew.
Yeah.
All right. So then race morning.
Did we go straight to bed after that?
Yeah, we all called it a night because like our morning, we had to meet in the lobby at 5 a.m. So
It's an early starting
Yeah.
race. What was your gun time? 7
a.m.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So were you staying in Manhattan? Is that right?
No,
No.
we
You were
stayed
in
in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn? Okay.
Marriott.
at
Oh,
the
there's a
Brooklyn
boat
Bridge.
bridge. Sorry, I was looking up boat.
But
There's
so
one
the,
in Manhattan.
the start
Okay.
line was about 3 miles away from our hotel, so we still had to jump in an Uber.
I don't even remember that part.
The Uber?
Over to the start.
Oh, it was
I
interesting.
do. I mean, it was
Oh,
fine.
I do.
Like,
It was interesting.
So this was
I don't think you guys weren't in my Uber.
yeah. which
this
is why it
I was
fun.
just going to say
Yeah.
this was a big weekend for me because normally I rely on Megan to like she gets the Uber, I get in it.
For everything.
Anyway, this weekend I did a lot of Ubering. I was the second Uber. So Meg would Uber and I would get an Uber. So we
Okay.
didn't travel a lot together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, when you're traveling with a group of 10, it requires multiple Ubers everywhere
Right.
you go.
I don't know
So,
why we got to split up though.
We all made it to the start line, and then we met up. How did we find Allie Feller, or was she with us?
Allie was with us.
She was
I
with
thought.
us.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she stayed in Jess Movold's room.
And she's done this event quite a bit, so she knew how to get us to the VIP start line, which honestly I don't know how we would have found otherwise.
It was at the Botanical Garden or something like that. It was at some.
But we had to like go through security, pass all the corrals, and then it was like this little hole in the wall.
Yeah, you would
Sounds
never find it on your own.
Yeah, it was like down the street, and then you turn left and go down like 2 blocks,
Then
and
through the
no one
looking
was
glass and down the rabbit hole.
But so
So-
she voluntarily took her water bottle, held it up in the air as high as she could, and was like, "All right, group, follow." It was like announcing.
We were
the
like
whole
kindergartners
time.
at the Museum of Natural History.
Did you have like hold on to each other's backpacks?
Yes,
We did for a little while. We all held hands like a train.
And there was a song that sounded like it was in a Wes Anderson film as we did the whole thing.
Nice.
Like all the way in. But you know what people probably want to know?
What's that?
What is in a VIP lounge for a race?
All the cool kids.
All the cool kids. But what else? There's coffee. There's tea. Not just creamer. There was almond milk, creamer.
Wow.
They had oat milk.
Oh, it was basically like a Royal Farms inside of a tent.
Yes.
Oh no, this was a building, not a tent.
Oh, is it actually?
This
building?
was
This was
an actual.
it was the New York City Botanical Gardens or something like that.
Okay.
Brooklyn Botanical. I don't know. Something like that. So that there was a regular croissant, chocolate croissant.
Yep. This you definitely ate Milano's. As a child.
There was what else was there food wise?
There was fruit. There was bagels. I think there was. I don't know.
All the tables
stuff.
had like 10 waters and 10 Gatorades.
Oh yeah, lots of water and Gatorade. And like Megan said, there were some people there. Like Des Linden was hanging out there, and I didn't see her till the end. So when I was walking by her, I said, "Oh hey, Des Linden," and she looked kind of over her shoulder. But by that time, I was already kind of like walking out. And I was like, "Good to see you. Nice to meet you." And
There's no time for nonsense like that.
But Tiki Barber was there.
Yeah.
Oh.
All the New Balance.
Oh, did you see what's her name?
stars.
Did you see Ellie Kemper? Was she in there?
No, didn't she end up not running?
Oh, really? Shame.
I got
Don't fact check me.
This is
but-
going to be horrible. Who's Ellie Kemper?
She's
The Office.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The redhead.
She ran the New York City Marathon, but
When he said hey to
Where's
Des,
Ralphie?
Des then said hey back, and it was probably the most low energy conversation that I've seen.
It was like, I go, "Hey, Des," and she goes, "Hey."
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, the excitement was unreal.
did you? Oh, dude, Ralphie. We're hotboxing in here. Ralphie just ripped it. Like that bathroom one's on you.
Yeah. What are you feeding him?
Oh, dude, he might have eaten some of the stuff off the street.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So going to the crowds was cool because we're getting shout outs. Hey, believe, this and that. And we're going through and we're seeing friends that, we've seen at various events or, even through people that we've had locally that were up there. So we're seeing everybody. And I told Lynn what, Lynn from, he always comes to our things in New York. I told him that which corral I was in. And we were able to meet up. And Lynn, wearing the grit hat, he's got the Believe in the Run t-shirt on. Like he is geared up.
Nice.
Head
That's
to toe,
amazing.
Believe in the Run. And he's the sweetest guy. I'll get into that a little bit later, but go ahead, Meg. So we're getting into the corrals. What was the toughest part of the corral? I know it was the toughest part for me.
There wasn't really anything tough about the corrals where we were.
Porta potties were also in the corrals.
Oh, there were some lines.
So people are lined up across, like so crisscross. So imagine you're trying to go this way towards the front. So north to south towards the front of the race. Meanwhile, east to west are long back-to-back lines for porta potties. So as you're trying to go, you're like, excuse me, crisscross.
Yeah.
And like you're trying to just find like a dead zone where you could like hang out with your friends and get ready for the race.
Yeah.
But the porta potties were so packed next to each other that it was like you had to almost break up a line so that you could
Oh, yeah.
stand with your people. So I found that to be not really well thought out.
Man, it's like nobody can figure out the porta potty thing. It's very, very, except for Boston Marathon. That was brilliant.
I don't know what the solution would be.
Don't put them in the corrals. That's solution number one.
I think they want to get people into the corrals really early.
No, you
and
have
so the
to.
only way to do that, you have to
You need
that.
them in the corrals.
Yeah.
In fact, I would advocate for more in some cases, but
Well, here's the thing. The lines were so long and we were getting towards the start of the race. The race starts. It was, by the way, a pretty decent hike to the start.
You kind of like wind around. I mean, there's, like we said, there's 26,000 people running. So, I mean, it's going to take a while to get to the start line.
But the energy was awesome.
Yeah. The energy was great.
And you start downhill. A nice downhill.
Nice. I'm looking at Jarrett's elevation map.
The first half a mile
that is
phenomenal.
Yeah, and you can see people and, it just feels good.
But then it goes uphill.
I mean, it does.
Yeah, so you go through, what was the park we were running through?
That's Prospect Park.
Okay.
Which is, it's hilly. There was like one big climb, I think, on the whole race, which was like mile 5.
And it is a big climb, Robbie. It's one of those climbs where it is like a C shape. So like as you're running up, you're like, oh, that looks like the top.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see the turn and it keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I wasn't having a great day. My hip wasn't firing. My foot was hurting. I wanted to DNF, but when I saw that hill, I was like, all I wanted to do was make sure I ran the whole way up the hill.
When you say your hip wasn't firing, what is that?
So my buttock on my left side,
Yeah.
when I would go to plant my foot and then push off,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like I could push off.
Man.
So like this foot on my right side hurt when I landed. And then I would try to push off with my left leg and it didn't feel like I could get any power out of my ass.
Oh, so you're basically from the waist down, you're useless.
Pretty much. I was like hobbling. And honestly, this is where Lynn came into play. Lynn was nice enough I was like, Lynn, this isn't going to be my day. Like, if you want to run, just run. I'm just going to hobble my way to the finish. He's like, no, I really want to run with you. And Meg's warned people I don't talk a lot during the race. So it's not like I'm providing great entertainment.
Yeah.
It's just me quietly hobbling around. But Lynn stayed with me the whole
Can you
time.
confirm that you ran with him 26.2?
Well, he kept me alive for that. I was the quiet one who was like, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. On that one, I was talkative, trying to keep him going.
Yeah. Okay.
But Lynn was definitely the hero. Got me through. I would have dropped out at mile 3. I'm like, let's just make it to 6 and see what happens. By that time, you're like, it's a point to point. Let me just go. He stayed with me the whole time.
Wow.
Kept me he even got me waters at water stops and stuff. Like, he was the man.
Man. He's like an honorary member.
I mean, he's my new Jarrett. He's my new best friend.
Oh, sorry. Replaceable?
I don't know. I'd like to say that you could bring them all together because I think you guys will get along.
It's like kids. Like you can love them all equally.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually think that, we should make Lynn an honorary member of the team at this point.
All right. We'll knight him next time.
He's the one who got me the Ichiran
Yeah, I know.
hookup. Yeah.
He's a gem of a human.
Yes.
I got to run with Brandon the whole time, which I wasn't sure it was going to happen. But so my goal for the day was just to run a progression run. So you're supposed to start out at like 7 flat and then just run faster from there.
Can we say that Brandon hasn't had, he's run the Boston Marathon and he ran Tokyo Marathon, and the mileage he did in between those two?
It was probably less than a marathon, right?
Yeah, it was like 5 miles.
So you're deciding to run when Megan says a progression run, even though Megan's not racing it. Give the splits that you started at and what you ended up with.
I mean, we almost nailed it perfectly. So mile 1 was a 6:59 and mile 13 was a 6:10.
But here's the crazy thing. She's like, almost nail it perfectly. She's like, I'm going to go out at 7. They did the first mile at 6:59. What was your second mile?
6:38, 6:35, 6:37. So yeah, we picked it up a little bit.
Wait, how'd you go out so slow on the downhill?
Because we
Not slow,
honestly,
but-
we couldn't. I don't know how people race that because we were packed in.
So it was like Boston.
It was like Boston,
Yeah.
like where if I really wanted to swerve around people, we could have. But I was like, I'm not racing.
It
so.
really is like a little mini Boston because you have the downhill start, then you have you get to the hills, and then you just have a nice. You didn't think so.
No, it was uphill the entire time.
Wait.
And the win.
After that big hill at like mile 5, let's say, then you get the really nice downhill mile 6 to 7, and then from there it was flat.
That's how I felt it was. You felt it was different.
I thought that once you got out of the park, that was around 6
Yeah.
or something like that. And there was that bit of a downhill, but I had been studying the elevation chart for 3 days, which might have been my problem because I was like, 150 feet of elevation loss. That's going to be awesome. It turns out that 150 feet of elevation loss over 7 miles is not much at all.
Right.
So I kind of
Yeah,
felt,
but you're not running uphill.
I felt like I guess maybe because I was pushing so hard that I was like, where's this downhill? Where am I going to get it? And it wasn't. It was either flat or ever so slightly down that I just was missing what I wanted to be a bigger hill.
Okay. Did anyone tell you about the highway and say that you're going to run from A to Z?
Yes.
Okay.
Like multiple people.
All right. And then they're like, then you're done, right?
I don't know. They just said it seems long because you see all the letters.
Okay. So it wasn't seeming long because of that. But when I saw that we got to Z, I'm like, oh, we must be.
What are you talking about? The highway.
So the streets are letters. So you go like A, B, C.
Okay.
So you see
And
the
we're
whole
running
way.
down like a.
Oh, I
That's
see.
right.
Okay.
So you see him, and I'm like, okay, they told me that they're going to not be, I won't be along as far as I thought I was, which I thought they went by really quick. But I thought they're like, you'll get to Z and then you're done. We got to Z and you still had like 2 miles.
Oh.
I wasn't paying attention. I don't remember any of that.
I was.
This is a guy that was like, please just get me to the finish.
Maybe they were using the Greek alphabet.
I guess I was so in
I
the
think it
zone
still stops at Zeta.
and out of it that I did not
Oh,
see.
Omega.
I didn't see a single
see any
letter
street,
sign.
yeah.
I was trying to GoPro like cool stuff.
Oh, I was just.
TBD,
Cool stuff.
TBD if I got anything.
I was trying to GoPro cool stuff.
You know.
Like people with exciting sunglasses.
No, I ran over. I crossed the street, like almost cut off like 20 people because there was these chicks dressed up in hot dogs and they had these phenomenal signs. And I was like, this has to be caught on camera.
Nice.
So I was,
Hot dog.
yeah, it was solid. I feel like there was some really good crews out there. It was a little dead.
I
in the back
expected
end.
it to be a lot more. Like even when we did the Bronx,
Yeah.
I felt like the crews came out for that. I didn't feel like the crews were as thick because
Oh,
people
I
had
completely disagree.
really.
The Bronx was dead.
I felt like there was areas where the crews were amassed, especially like right before you did the downhill.
Maybe.
And I felt like the thickness of these crowds was not that, like when the crew came out, like I did see a district runner from DC and I saw, but it wasn't like 20 people at a spot that I was like kind of expecting.
So-
I did take advantage of the Vaseline medical tents though.
All right. They're sponsored by Vaseline?
No, you know how we bled
Yeah.
in Boston?
Yeah.
Well, this time it was in my lower region. The shorts that I was
I
wearing.
want to clarify that or else.
So, like the shorts I was wearing,
Yeah.
it was damp enough out that your shorts weren't like soaking wet. So, like, I think that helps because sometimes it'll pull the shorts down. It was,
Yeah, it does.
yeah. So, my shorts were riding up and it was making the skin rub together
Uh-huh.
right there. And-
Right where? In your grundle?
Lower
Oh,
than the,
jeez.
yeah. Well, wait, not up close to the body, but like away from the dangles. You know, it was there.
Yeah.
Mostly like the tender part.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarifying questions.
So
People need to know because they need to know where to
Okay.
apply Vaseline. next
so
time.
the first medical tent, I'm probably at we got to be at like letter H,
yeah.
and I'm like I see someone standing out there with the sticks and the Vaseline in the cup, and so I run over real quick. I'm like, Lynn, I got to do this. If you want to go, you
Yeah.
can go.
If you want to help, you can help.
So I get some on and I run and like I got enough on, but I'm like I could have done more. So I see another medical tent.
Did you just grab the whole jar?
we get it. The medical tent has to be like around N now.
Uh-huh.
And I run up to the tent and they don't have anybody out with the Vaseline. Like they're all chilling. And so I run up. Lady's like, hey, I was wearing the Pineapple SC Elites. And she goes, those shoes are fire. And I go, right now, my crotches. Basically just took the Vaseline and started rubbing it all around. And she had a good sense of humor about it. She enjoyed that.
Nice. Yeah. I looked at the map and Meg ruminates on that. I looked at the map and from letter Z to the end looks like 1.5 miles.
Okay, perfect.
Which is,
So when they told me you're basically done at Z, that's like when someone goes, you're there, almost there.
At like mile
I get
22.
that.
And a
in the
mile and a
marathon.
half
Oh yeah.
when you're in pain and running slow.
yeah, when you're
That's like
vast
it's like
up.
10 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Jarrett, did you feel like you could run as fast as you wanted, or do you feel like you were in a crowd? Like that you couldn't?
Well, both. Because
Like, were you weaving?
I was weaving a
Okay,
lot.
yeah.
And then also within the first mile, before really, maybe the first, when you went around the corner and then you would see people coming the other way.
Yeah.
I was running on their side of the road because I needed to get away from people.
You know what was sad for me? I saw a lot of people because there was a switchback where you got to see all these people. And I saw all of our friends. I even saw some faster bastards and stuff coming in at Phil and stuff on the other side. But I'm really looking for one person.
There she is.
Brandon and I were running on the far side.
And so I missed him. And Lynn was going to try to video him. So he had his phone out and he's waiting for him. And I'm like, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. And then I started seeing like people that I knew wouldn't be running as fast as Megan and thicker crowds. And I'm like, Lynn, you can put your phone away. It's over.
But thanks for trying, Lynn.
All right. So
I saw Paul Lang out there.
I always think Paul Lang is like a rock star, and then it's just someone we know.
Well,
He's
he
also
kinda
a
is
rock star.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he was with Nicole, his lady friend, who they just traveled the world together.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you finish on the boardwalk.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Brandon and I caught Megan Featherston with like 1,000 meters to go, probably.
Epic video.
Which totally worth it for the video footage I got of them finishing. It was great.
Yeah.
Especially with those. Okay, so picture this, Robbie. It's overcast, gray skies. We're wearing the black kit, but bright electric pineapple shoes.
That works.
And Meg runs up. Here's what I love about Meg. She's kind of like what Brandon does with the photos. Like you're working hard and doing your best. And she's like, let me run up and get this. And so she's in front of him by like, I don't know, 10 feet, 15 feet.
Yeah, but if I didn't have that camera and didn't have a job to do, I probably would have been like, I'm not running this fast.
So you should just run with a camera from now on.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's what Kafuzi. That's how Kafuzi gets sub 3.
Yeah.
But then, so you end on the boardwalk, and on the boardwalk, are there any displays of like bearded women or strong men or thing like that? Is that a thing still on Coney Island?
I didn't know that was a thing.
I think it might have been
Like a freak show circus.
I'm sure
There was like people on stilts and dressed up in the park.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, jugglers.
Yeah.
You don't get that at every race finish.
True.
Spider-Man was out there again.
So since we had the VIP, which was really nice, although Brandon didn't have his VIP, so that was like a whole
got him
ordeal. Yeah, but it took us a long time.
Oh.
You weren't even there.
Yeah, but I knew it would happen.
So we got to go up to the suites at this baseball park, which was great because they had our bags there, and then inside all the suites was a ton of food, seltzers, beers.
Oh wow!
And yeah, it was a really, really nice setup.
And it was good because it started to pour.
Yeah, and we were inside.
So it wasn't raining during the race, or
it kind of did, but like not
misty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And
can't ask for a bunch.
No,
better.
I was telling Lynn because it was super humid, and I was like, I just wish it would rain.
Yeah.
To kind of like break the humidity. Like it was the weirdest weather because it wasn't that hot, but it was very thick.
Okay.
And so you were wet from sweating and from the mist. And it was just like, it was kind of this gross, slimy feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the worst part was, so we had checked bags, but we're now 13.1 miles away from Brooklyn. And your clothes are a little bit wet. You may have put on, like I brought a jacket, so I put on a dry t-shirt and a jacket. But like my pants are soaked and stuff. So,
but it was really fun because, we just got to
like it's horrible mix. Like it's really fun.
Well, no, we got to like wait for the whole crew to show up. So like every time someone came in, we would like get excited and cheer, and so it was just a very fun morning. Also, we were drinking seltzers at 9 a.m. So
yeah, man,
it's gonna be good.
Emily Heller came into a round of, and even though she wasn't like she was, just because she came in like last, she wasn't last in like time because she like the way that the waves went.
Right.
She was back some waves.
She started an hour after we did.
But she PR'd. I think she had a 139 or something.
No, it's close to
40.
I think I saw that
149.
It wasn't quite.
It wasn't a PR.
Okay, it was close. But so, and by the way, Emily Heller is on our team, Train to Pop.
Yep, we mentioned it earlier.
Pop. All right.
Yeah. And just so we're clear, the baseball team is called the Brooklyn Cyclones, and they are an affiliate of the New York Mets. They're a single A or high A team. So I'm gonna take a stab at the name of the book. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. Take the stab.
I think it's a Maimonides Park.
Okay.
All right.
Maiomini. Someone tell me if I'm wrong.
I bet you could look it up on Google and it will have the enunciation next to it.
I know. I want to stop doing that. Like back when in the 90s, someone just tell you something and you think it was true forever.
Yeah.
I kind of want to start doing that again.
I like that. So, Robbie, when you finish a race, you're normally, and it's by an ocean, you'd be like, let's jump in the water.
Yeah.
It was the perfect conditions not to go in the water.
Oh.
Like the sand would be wet.
Yeah.
It was raining.
Was anyone doing it?
No.
No idea.
And the water didn't look friendly.
Yeah, it looked a little New Yorky.
It looked gray, and the waves, and just it's raining, and the beach was at least like 100 yards to the water, and then you'd have to get off the boardwalk and get back on the boardwalk.
That's a lonely journey to do all that.
But Falmouth, we're in the water.
Yeah. So that's cool. So seltzers at 9 a.m. White Claw or Truly or other?
It was Michelob Ultra
Yeah.
seltzers.
Oh, those aren't bad. Yeah.
Which I didn't know existed.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It was like 9 a.m. And
so,
or 10, what time was it?
There's
when we
20.
got there?
It was 9.
Okay.
I mean, I was drinking at 9.
Real quick about the seltzer stuff. So I tried a bunch of different ones of those this weekend. And also, since we talked about it at last week's podcast, Bojangles makes a hard sweet tea.
Oh.
Wait, they sell alcohol?
Yeah, I think it's their... No, it's like you can buy it at the store. And it has their branding on it. So it's like it's...
Is it coming in a brown jug?
No, it's like cans. Like look, like hard sweet tea. Oh, damn, I have to put in my age to get in here.
And so, how is it?
It was actually pretty good for one.
Okay. Too sweet?
Too sweet, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, like, I guess it's still not as much sugar as, a can of Coke, but it's a lot. So I had one for breakfast and that was it. But yeah, it was probably about the same time you guys.
That's nice that we were drinking together.
Yeah.
So tell them what happened next.
So obviously everyone and their moms are trying to get an Uber at the same time when they're leaving.
Oh yeah.
And it's pouring rain at this point.
Think about the chemistry here. You've got roads closed off for runners. You've got 26,000 finishers. And you're in a tiny pocket of Coney Island and you're trying to get Ubers. And everybody's on the network.
And you're probably not in a VIP area after the race.
Yeah. But your cell phone isn't working because there's too many people using the cell phone towers.
So I'm like, Thomas, get an Uber. I'll request an Uber. And we just start walking away from the stadium to just try and get to a place where we could get into an Uber. But mind you, it's pouring rain. I'm trying to wrangle 10, 11, 12 of us.
Clear, all sober.
No one was crazy.
Like I didn't even feel like drinking that much after the race. I just wasn't hitting it. So it wasn't like we were hammered, but
no.
Okay, that's good.
And so we start walking and like it's the Uber app is just doing that thing where it's like just circles around and it's like trying to find your Uber driver and it's just circling. So we're just walking and walking. And then finally mine's like, it found one. And so I'm like, okay, great. Then Thomas's is like, we found one. And then he's like, great.
Jess Movold.
But I also had Jess Movold looking for one because I wasn't sure who was going to get it. And so she's found one. So Thomas is like, I'm canceling mine.
So it won't cancel because I can't get on the service. And it's like, sorry, we can't cancel it. I'm like, you will cancel this ride. And then Jess Movold's like, mine's going to be here. And we're like.
So Jess, being Jess, calls her Uber to make sure that he's going to be in the exact spot that we are. So she's like having this conversation with him. And
by the way, she is an Uber pro.
Yeah.
Like she knew, like, she's like, let me see your phone. She's like hit all the buttons. She's like, there you go. And it's like, and then she's like texting him where our location dropping pins.
Oh, yeah.
So Allie Feller is like, all right, I'm going with Jess because Jess has this Uber thing on lockdown. And I'm like, screw you guys. My Uber's going to get here. But it's like says it's going to be here in 8 minutes and like 15 minutes have gone by and it's still like 8 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's like 4 minutes and then 3 minutes. And as my Uber is pulling up, Jess's Uber cancels. So now we're down to one Uber and there's 11 of us.
And it took about 15 minutes just to get this one Uber.
Uh-huh.
So We see him across the street, and it's a van.
Before we get into this whole Uber ride, we have not gone over everyone's race recap. I'm just saying.
Yours?
Yeah.
Oh, do it.
Oh, yeah.
it.
What the hell? Well, how are you forgetting Jarrett?
Right? We can't go into the Uber ride because that's a whole nother episode in itself.
Jarrett's on this podcast. Jarrett.
You PR'd.
So while Meg ran with Brandon and Thomas ran with Lynn, I got to run with no one. So this was like the longest time of my life of trying to survive with no distractions or anything like that. But Meg, coached me to my new half marathon PR of 1:39:34.
That's sick.
And I realized that before races, I really freak out. Like maybe starting 72 hours before a race, that's when I'm like, this is maybe I don't know if I want to do
like
this.
He almost, I think in the beginning, if we'd put pressure on him just to run with us, he would have given up his day to run easy.
And then once I get to the starting line, then I'm like, okay, we can do this. Let's do this. Like in the corral, ready to go. And then once we crossed that start line, I kind of just took off. I love that first half mile downhill. And then all of a sudden it was 3 miles in, we hit the 5K point like it was nothing. I looked at my watch and I'm like, I'm going a little too fast for the plan that you told me to be on. But I was like, maybe I'll just hold on and keep this going. The next, 3 miles was that uphill through the park. And that's when things started to get a little bit dicey because that uphill, it wasn't just like steep at points, but looking at the chart, it's about a 2.5 mile of just uphill.
It was a grind.
Yeah. So then I was like, let's get out of the park. We need to get out of the park. I passed Jess around that uphill and she said, hey, and I was like, I went too fast out. I guess I'm going to keep going. And she's like, okay, bye. But then everyone kept saying, well, the first half is more fun. The second half, it's really boring. You're just going straight. And
I don't think I would call the first half more fun.
I guess like there's more going on,
okay.
like with, through the park and all these out and backs and turns and stuff like that. But once we get to that straightaway, as I was saying, I was expecting like this just downhill the whole way. And it felt like when we ran Wineglass and it was a net elevation loss, but I'm like, why was I running uphill the whole time? Something here is not right. So my goal at that point was just to hold on for dear life. I started to get real tired, maybe around mile 8.
It was also warming up.
It was. Mile 8 was when I really got into that like negative space of, I could stop right now. I can walk. Nothing matters. This doesn't matter. No one's going to be like disappointed.
Well, that's
crazy. Like
that's crazy because you kept a pretty steady pace the whole time.
Yeah.
You talked yourself out of it.
Yeah. I talked myself out of it. I started hitting every water station, grabbing 2 waters, one to splash on my face and the other to attempt to drink without choking. And then we saw that we were getting closer to the promenade, to the boardwalk. And I was like,
how'd you like that ramp?
I hated that ramp.
Yeah,
that ramp was not great.
There was like another turn.
But it was also, you go from like a 3-lane highway.
Yeah.
And you
to
take a turn
sidewalk.
and you go, it's the width of a sidewalk. And so everybody's funneled into this ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And the ramp is at an angle that's just nasty enough to be like, ouch.
Yeah. So I saw that 800, meters left to go. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense because I feel like you can see the finish line.
Yeah.
Then you have to do that turn, go up the ramp, and then we're on the boardwalk. And I'm thinking, okay, run as hard as you can. But I looked at my watch and there was no pace change at all. It was just the same thing. But I'm like breathing heavy. I'm like, sound like I'm probably about to just fall over. And I don't know. I made it across the finish line and I looked at my watch. I had that PR and it was really exciting because the entire time I was just trying to do that math of, okay, can I hit this sub 140? Mm-hmm. Can I do this?
Oh, so that was your goal?
Yeah. I wanted that sub 140 real bad.
Yeah.
and I didn't know if I started falling off in that straightaway, that last 7-8 miles, but it was really exciting to then get done, and I pulled off to the side, and the entire time, I mean, I waited for you guys, for you and Lynn. I was like, I'm just going to wait here, and some lady kept being like, okay, guys, like, keep walking, and I'm just like no.
I'm in the VIP. I tracked you, and Allie and I are texting back and forth, so I know you're finished, and then it took you like an hour to get there, so I'm thinking you're like dead in medical somewhere.
We were an hour behind him.
It felt like a very long time.
Yeah. So then when we got in,
an hour.
Yeah, when we got up to the suites, you were like, "You did it," and you're like, "You're also okay." So that's fantastic.
I was literally like, what could have happened? Is he in medical? Did he just fall over?
He PR'd and then he puked. No, he didn't.
Yeah, you know, she could never think that you were nice enough to wait for myself and Lynn because she was up there drinking her Michelob seltzers,
right?
Not worried about me at all, not worried about her husband. Just you know how Jarrett's
you
doing.
weren't going out to run hard. This guy was.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's exciting. I haven't really raced a marathon since like I looked at my last PR. It was like 2016.
Yeah.
Because who races half marathons, right? If I feel like if I'm going that distance, might as well do the full, or might as well take it real easy.
Yeah.
And then you go and party and have a great time and not stress too much. But then we ate a bunch, and then we got to the Uber situation, which you can now continue your story.
Okay, so the Uber is on we're in like gridlock traffic. The Uber's on the other side of the street. So we're like signing to this guy, like, you go over here. And so I turned to Jess, and she's like, her Uber just canceled. And I'm like, let's just try and pile into this one Uber. So, what was the car?
It was a Kia Sorento, I believe.
Minivan.
Probably stolen.
Dude, I was just happy I got the front seat 'cause I was tired. I was wet.
So we all run up to this car, and Allie and Jess go, everyone just get in. We're going to get in the trunk. And so we open up the trunk. They both jump in the back of the trunk.
The little space between the back seat and the
It
door.
was about as big as 2 roll-on bags standing up
Yes.
They
straight.
post this. Someone posted
I
this.
put it in my story.
Okay, I saw that, and I was like, "Where are they behind it?" Like, I thought they were like stuck behind an air conditioner
for
at a
an
hotel.
hour.
Yeah, for an hour.
Whoa! After a race, dude,
Yeah.
what?
I didn't realize that they were back in the trunk. I thought they just kind of all squeezed in the back seat.
Wow.
And the funny thing, it turned out there was one extra seat, so only one person would have needed to sit in the trunk. But
Is that what you told the officer when he pulled you over? I didn't
Well, that
realize they
was-
were in the back trunk, officer.
when we
So
pulled up
the-
to the
just found those
hotel,
bodies there.
The Uber driver did not know that they were in the trunk. I think he just thought we like put luggage back
No
there.
way.
Until Allie, so she was being our DJ this whole ride and was playing Taylor Swift because our Uber driver did not want to play any music. And so all of a sudden she wanted to show us something on her phone. So she puts her hand up with her phone and she's like, hey guys, look at this. And the Uber driver is looking in his rear view and he just starts shaking his head.
Yeah, I bet.
so when we roll up to the hotel, and this is after, like, it was a long ride back. It was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And when we get back, there's cop cars in front of the hotel. And he's like, it was difficult because he wasn't speaking English very well, trying to tell us not to go out the trunk.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm hearing, get them out of the trunk. So
Yeah.
I'm like going, and he's like, no. So
He had them climb over the chairs and get out of the car.
it was like a clown car. Like
Yeah.
people just kept filing out.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
I approve of that.
we made it back.
Did he tack on a surcharge for that?
No, but Meg
I
gave
gave
him
him
a
a
tip.
tip.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
nice.
normally tip Uber drivers, but I was like, you deserve one
Yeah.
for not kicking us out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah, so we all showered up and then we were supposed to meet at a...
So you're going over the highlight of my day.
Oh, okay.
That shower
Oh.
felt so good.
yeah.
Oh, there's nothing. What is better than a hot shower after being cold in the rain and running hard and just like feeling miserable? You get that shower.
It really is the best thing. Did you drink coffee in the shower? Are
No.
you a shower coffee guy?
No, not really.
Who drinks coffee in the shower?
Apparently,
if I'm
Robbie.
drinking anything
Guilty.
in the shower.
I've drank a beer in the
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah,
alcohol.
but you got to do coffee. It's even better. It's because on these exact days that you're
How do
talking
you get
about,
the espresso machine in the shower?
it's Kramer. Watch the Seinfeld episode of
Okay.
Kramer. You figure it out.
There's a guy who has an Instagram account that just does cooking in his shower, by the way.
I think I've seen that. I have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder where you got that idea.
Yeah, right. But you just take it next time you have a cold day like that, Thomas. Just trust me on this. Do a shower coffee. It'll be awesome.
All right.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was the best part of your experience. So the whole weekend was the shower.
It might have been my high point
Yeah.
of that weekend.
Yeah.
So we tried to meet up at this place called Randolph Beer, which we actually all went there, and we were the oldest people in there by a lot.
Okay.
There was families in
basically-
there.
It was a frat house.
Well, there was families in there. I didn't feel old in there, which is
That's
and there was something called feather bowling,
yeah.
and I didn't go check it out, but you did.
I watched. It was weird.
Feather bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
feather bowling.
Oh, I see
It's
it.
essentially just like trying to get the whatever. It's like a ball thing that you roll close to the feather at each side. It's not like
Now I'm interested.
I don't know. But it was weird because that Randolph Brewing was split up into two parts.
Yeah.
The brewery side, which was packed beyond belief, and then like that gaming side, which there was 1 million empty seats,
But they
also-
were all reserved.
They all said reserved.
Yeah. So they basically told us our giant party of 10 was not welcome there. Or we could try and figure it out, but we all needed food and stuff. So we walked to a place right next door.
The whole time we're walking, like we walked from our hotel to the Randolph, and first we went to another bar. Remember we went?
Yeah.
So Jarrett, who was with us there?
Megan Featherston, Jarrett, and Allie.
Okay, and we started off. So I get a bourbon. I think Feathers had 2 bourbons there.
Yeah.
You had a cocktail. You had a
I
cocktail.
had a beer.
I had a martini.
Yeah, and then but from walking from there to the Randolph, 2 miles,
No,
mile and a half.
maybe a mile.
Okay, but Robbie, it's raining. Like it's
Pouring.
not like a little bit of pouring. It's raining. So,
Yeah, like the old man is snoring type raining.
yeah. So we're walking. Meanwhile, Megan Featherston are walking like 1 million miles a second.
Yeah.
Because it's pouring.
I know, but we couldn't keep up with you. Like
Logic makes sense.
we had Jarrett, his pregnant wife. Like you guys just left us.
Allie was keeping up fine.
And so we get to the Randolph place. Last thing we're going to want to do is go back out in the rain, but they're like, it's only 700 feet away.
Which was kind of true, kind of not true.
Yeah.
But so we find this place called Super Fine. It ended up being great. They put us in this.
It was fine.
This table in like the back corner.
It should have just been called fine.
Did they have a super cuts in the back room?
I didn't see it if they did.
Meanwhile, I'm drinking this whole time, and I'm just not getting a buzz.
Oh, that's the worst.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was
the
one of those
cocktails
days where we were
yeah.
drinking all day, but no one really.
That was like my whole weekend.
But the weird
I'm
thing,
with you. I know that you're like, I can't. You get to a certain point, it's like it's not happening.
Yeah.
You just go to bed.
Yeah.
but that's the weird thing was nobody was willing to go to bed. But also, we kept drinking like. It wasn't like we were getting mixed drinks. I did get mixed drinks at Superfine. I was getting Palomas, but that they could make weak. We started drinking martinis again when Preakness was coming on because we went back to the hotel to watch the Preakness.
Mm-hmm.
And we're drinking, martinis and you're going to talk about Bob Badford's horse.
No, I just want to know about if there's any betting going on.
Okay. I
I saw something that
downloaded multiple.
What
apps.
did you see?
Yeah.
Wait, I want to know.
I just saw something that someone said, like Megan said she tried to bet or something.
Yes. Very hard.
She really
was
did.
that in the stories or something?
I when I posted on Instagram, I mentioned it.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't see it.
Yeah, she tried hard enough that she was giving these different apps her last social security number.
Yeah.
Essentially what was the color of her high
First
school
of all,
car.
I asked Jarrett,
Who
I
was her
said,
childhood best
they're
friend?
requesting my last 4 digits of my social. How legit is this? And you were the one who said
That's
they have to for tax
yeah.
purposes.
Oh, is that like FanDuel or just
Yeah.
whatever?
See, and I'm kind of irritated at
DraftKings.
you for this because I clearly I'm like, I don't think she should be gambling.
Thomas is like literally freaking out. I'm like trying to download these apps. Everyone's
Well,
encouraging
I'm like,
it. He's
"Oh,
getting angry.
Let's give our social security card when I'm 10 sheets to the win. I've been drinking
Oh,
all
I
day
would've
and let me
been-
do it. I'm like, I don't want this happening.
Objection.
Glad I
okay?
wasn't there. You would have probably gotten a fight with me.
I wasn't the one who found the app. She comes over to me already with the app downloaded,
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, they said do this one."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it turns out you can't bet on horses in the state of New York City.
Oh, that's right. Because a lot of people,
OTB.
there's a lot of people who will take like the Staten Island ferry or one of the ferries like over to New Jersey, and they just bet inside the ferry terminal and then go back to Manhattan to place their horse bets. It's a big thing. It's weird.
And in New York, they have the off-track betting, like places to go and bet.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
there's people that don't want you.
But so I couldn't figure out why they weren't accepting a payment method. And then Brandon had already had FanDuel downloaded, and he was like, "Look, I can do it right here." And then he was denied. And then we figured it out.
I wonder if you had a VPN, if you could do that. But I think that's the case where, yeah, you need a bookie in that circumstance.
If all you need is a VPN, then people wouldn't be taking a Staten Island ferry because like
You're
you
right.
could figure that out. But the greatest thing was, and I feel like vindicated, if Megan had bet, how would it turned out?
Well, here's the thing. There was a lot of signs that I should not be betting, and every time
One of
one
them was
popped up, Megan Featherston was like, "This might be a sign." So I always choose horse number 8. Horse number 8 was scratched.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'll just go with Mage. And then they were saying something about him, like that he wouldn't be a good bet. I couldn't download the apps, or it wouldn't accept my payment. So there was like a lot of signs that were like, maybe don't do this.
I think if maybe you would have
and
pushed...
one big one in the corner going,
Thomas yelling.
"Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah. I think if you would have gotten through all those hurdles, Thomas especially, maybe your fate would have changed, though. It's like you never know how it would have worked out.
See, that's
I know.
how. Wait a second.
I'm with you.
No. We
Yeah.
do know how fate worked out. That's where you guys are wrong, and I love this because you guys are like, you could change your fate. No, that is your fate. Your fate was not to gamble.
You guys could,
So
you guys could have been rich.
this explains why you think there's only one soulmate for each person.
Well, she's about to find out.
I'll figure it out one day. I'm not giving up on horse betting.
After this we could do it on the podcast. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Just so you're ready for the next
all right.
situation.
Good.
I quit. I quit.
There's still one more race coming up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the big one.
I'm not
Belmont.
happy. I'm not happy.
Belmont.
Yep.
I'm not happy.
All right. So
So anyway,
I'm gonna look up when the Belmont Stakes is.
See, I feel like he's not doing this.
it's in 2 weeks.
He's not doing this to help you. He's doing this to upset me. So just know that that's the meaning behind
You'll
it.
be singing a different tune when she rolls up in a brand new car with all the money she bought.
Wait, do we need a new car?
No, but I could get one if I
Yeah.
won on the horse betting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, if we didn't horse bet, could we get a car?
Say a thing that you want in life.
I want her not to be gambling.
Okay, so first she needs to
material
do a little bit of
possession you don't
gambling,
need.
and then she can stop.
I want her not on heroin, not on meth, and not gambling. How about that?
The first ones are very easy to do.
Wait, for you to do them or
To not do.
Oh, okay.
Jeez,
I don't know. I
Louise.
never thought you'd be addicted to gambling either.
Or addicted.
It's funny because she hasn't even gambled.
Yeah.
But she's so addicted.
Do you just think because she runs so much that she would be addicted to gambling?
I just think that Megan, like, she had one time where she called a horse. One time.
Yeah.
In her entire life. She's
Not in my entire life.
Is there another time your
I'm
horse won?
sure I've won things before.
Yeah.
No, a horse.
Definitely.
Okay.
Just wait until she learns about trifectas.
I'm 35 years old.
Superfecta, right?
Superfectas.
Your
yeah.
horse has never won.
You don't know that.
You told me your dad's always won.
No, he never paid up.
Yeah. No,
That's
we
'cause-
never paid him because he
'cause-
cheated the system.
Oh, because you would always get
the favorite.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, so we don't have to talk about that right now. We'll bring it up again in 2 weeks.
We're starting a new podcast. It's like a therapy.
So Robbie, you'll love this. After we were all like settled in and ready to like be done for the evening, kind of, we were like having our last drinks. These guys decided they're gonna go get Dave's hot chicken.
Oh, nice.
Okay. It was calling us all weekend. We walked by, it was a grand opening, and every time we walked by, they had like a barker out front that was like, grand opening, Dave's hot chicken, famous Los Angeles chicken. So we're a little bit hungry because we've been drinking all day, and I haven't eaten at all. I tried to get French fries at the super fine place. I just wasn't hungry. So stomach full of alcohol. Let's go get some Dave's hot chicken. We go get it, and there's different temperatures. And I'm the first person who orders, and I'm like, I like spicy. I'll go extra hot. Yeah. It was a mistake.
Oh, I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, that's your insides did not rebound.
Well,
quickly.
here's what happens. Eventually, after we made our way up, and I'll let you tell your Dave's hot chicken sandwich story there, Jarrett. But we make our way back up, and Meg couldn't sleep the first night because I was up and making a lot of noise. So she's like, "You better not get up and make any noise. I just want to sleep." Basically, like was gonna kill me. This trip sounds like we had a really good trip. And so I'm in the middle of the night, and I'm like, "Oh crap, I'm gonna have to get
literally.
up." Yeah, I'm gonna have to get up. Megan's gonna lose her shit if I get up. So I'm like trying to be as quiet as I can, getting up. And then I'm like, oh, I made it through. I get back, she's snoring away. And
Nice.
I get back into bed, and I'm like, okay.
Dude,
an hour later.
Oh, yeah. Again. Yeah. Did you get hot or extra hot?
Extra hot.
Oh, that's right below Reaper. Dude.
I know. Well, that's where I was like, I felt safe. I was like, Reaper is next.
What'd you get, Jarrett?
He got medium.
I got medium because why would I want? I don't want to sweat like.
Also,
when I eat my
Low
food,
got medium, which I was surprised.
Is it Nashville style? Like hot chicken?
This one's from LA.
Yeah.
I don't know what the style is.
Did you go?
Dude, New York is so expensive though. For 2 tenders, how much was it?
Oh, I bet.
$1 billion.
Yeah, it was basically you had to give your last 4 digits of your social security number.
I will
If I
say.
had won on betting, I probably could pay for it.
You couldn't. It wasn't enough.
Okay. I've been to Prince's Chicken in Nashville before, which is kind of one of the 2 original ones or whatever. And I got the medium there, and that destroyed me more than anything in my life. Not even close.
It's not like that Nashville style. Like it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the lady helping
bad
me,
stuff.
when I said I'll go extra hot, she goes, like her eyebrow went up.
You should have changed it right then, dude.
She goes, oh, okay.
Did you eat the whole thing?
I did.
Okay. Man.
I mean, I only had it for a couple hours.
Yeah.
I had to give it back.
Yeah. Return to sender. Wow. Yeah, that's a...
And in case you're looking at this
though.
and you really want it, one is opening up in Owings Mills. So
oh, nice. I did. I have seen them around.
They got to put one in the city.
Well, so there's somewhat unrelated, but the guy, I just read an article where the guy who created the, is Carolina Reaper the hottest or the goat? I think it is the hottest.
It keeps changing.
He's creating a new pepper called Pepper X that's supposed to be like 5 times hotter, which is insane. Like there's no need for that on Earth.
So that would just burn your skin.
Yeah, I mean, people get violently ill off eating the Reapers. So yeah, it's supposed to just be completely horrible. But he can do it, I guess. Apparently the guy who invented the pepper used to be a banker and then just decided to start, I don't know,
invented the pepper?
Cross-pollinating Carolina. No, he would like, yeah.
Horticulturist?
Yeah, basically crossbreed different peppers and created the Carolina Reaper that way. Mm. Which, by the way, speaking of Carolina, when you were in South Carolina, did you ever get into pimento cheese?
I didn't get into
it. I
it.
have.
No.
It's so good.
I
never really got into the cheese spread situation. I probably ate so much of that.
They'll make a sandwich with that.
I thought you were in the Outer Banks.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
But it's a thing there because they had it everywhere in the grocery store. But my one friend who lives outside Raleigh, he brought some with him from.
You can use it as a condiment on a sandwich.
Yeah, I put it on a burger. It was amazing.
Oh yeah,
it was excellent. Anyways, I was just wondering that because it's not really a thing up here.
Yeah, it was big down there, but I don't know. It's just okay.
Yeah, if you have that, Ritz makes these things called flips, so it's pretzel on one side and Ritz cracker on the other.
I think those are also fall into the rich people.
No way, Ritz, because it says Ritz.
He's joking.
When it's the name of a hotel, yeah, but not as much a cracker.
Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah, they definitely, the name is doing a lot of heavy lifting on that cracker, but those are pretty good too if you need to try those. Anyways,
good to know.
But yeah, anything else?
Yeah, we had a nice trip back to.
Yeah, in the morning we all
City.
met up.
Bagels.
And got bagels together. Which
And
is
again,
nice.
not as good as Megan's bagels. Like, we're in New York. I'm like, if anybody's going to take Megan down a peg, it's going to be a New York bagel. Not even close.
It was a decent bagel. Like,
it was fine.
Yeah.
Not even close. I would.
I mean, it's hard to really get better than a fresh baked bagel, and Megan knows what she's doing.
She does. She makes an incredible.
I like
bagel.
the place that we normally stop at when we're staying near Columbus Circle. That bagel spot.
I would agree with you that.
A
What was it
bigger-
called? That one's pretty close to your bagels.
There's also that Essa bagel.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Wait, what's
And
the
they're
one
like real big.
what's the one we stop at when we're in New York City, when we're in like near Central Park?
I don't remember what that place
I
is called.
love that bagel. That's probably the closest to your bagel.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I know what you're talking about. The French. You mean the name of the place with the French name, or no?
No,
Where we
that's
get
no, that's a cream puff.
Yeah. Okay.
I
I went there when I was in New York City.
Did you get one?
Yeah.
It's
You got
good,
the cream
right?
puff?
How good is that?
Oh, it's really good.
It's light. It's not too
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah.
I was looking up feather bowling while you guys were talking. Which did Featherston play that? Because it seems like she needed to.
Well, so when we were in the Uber looking at this place and the menu, we thought feather bowls were food.
Nice.
Gross.
I was like, Megan, they've got feather bowls. And then we looked at it and realized it's not at all that.
It's basically a combination. It's like bocce, basically.
I guess so.
One of the more overrated games on earth, but
I like bocce.
it's fine. It's overrated.
Would you
though.
rather play shuffleboard or bocce?
Bocce because there's more variability.
Okay.
Wait, and you played a bunch of pickleball this weekend.
I did.
Did you get really good at it?
Yeah, I think I was pretty. We didn't lose.
What about bocce versus cornhole?
Cornhole for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, can jam versus cornhole.
Still cornhole, but can gym is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you were at the beach? Those people that do the slam nets.
There's some kids near us playing that. We played title ball, which is honestly a similar thing to bocce, but
Ooh, is that the one where you make a little hole and you have the golf ball?
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That's a
when we
fun
go
one.
with your like Meg's family. We always do that.
Yeah, we did that. We did pickleball, which was not a good idea and for the state of my foot. Because if you're gonna go all out. And same thing playing ping pong for hours.
I love ping pong.
Yeah. But pickleball we got pretty good at. And then these college kids who just graduated, they're down there for beach week, which I didn't know was a college thing. I thought it was just high school. But they tried to challenge us. Beat them straight up 11-5.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, but yeah, I do love some pickleball was fun. And yeah, lots of games of chance and things like that.
So
No one was injured, seriously.
other than playing games of chance and that kind of stuff, what's our next step on the Train to NYC tour?
I'm going to be going with our new people to Boston to do some fun stuff at the research lab. And then the whole crew will be going to the Fifth Avenue Mile in September.
Okay, make sure they set up the shoe machine that goes bounce, 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 bounce. Because that got people.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did we want to talk about the shoe at all?
I mean, we ran in this again, the SC Elite V3.
Yep.
All of us. I did the pineapple.
I ran in the wide version of that exact colorway.
And then,
The New York colorway for people who can't see.
the yellow really popped off the gray pavement with the rain and stuff, so it looked good. But yeah, that's what we used for that. We just got in a shoe that I guess we can talk about it as long as we don't show it. The SC Trainer V2. So Meg's already done 2 decent runs. I mean, you could pretty much almost write your review already. But I'll run in it tomorrow. We'll do our first thoughts and get that out for you when we can. We're not sure when they're going to let us off the embargo, even though it's on Running Warehouse. It's pretty much everywhere, and we already published a video about the shoe from the running event. So if you want to learn more about it, you can go watch
But we're
that.
not allowed to show it.
Yeah,
Don't promote it.
yeah. And so we'll be running in that and training in that, and eventually, I think we're going to get the SC V4 Elite V4 for New York City. So
We'll also be
pumped up about that.
getting the 1080. Well, we already have it, but we won't be able to show that until the fall. Yeah.
I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah.
And What was I going to say? Oh, and we have a new video up on Running Warehouse with me, Thomas, and myself.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was pretty good. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I thought
It was a
good.
reaction style video to you guys seeing celebrities and their shoe choices.
Yeah, it did seem like, I think I was just so tired.
My favorite part of it
Yeah.
was when they just zoomed in on Connor looking back and forth.
I did laugh out loud when I saw that part. It's like, what am I doing with my life talking to these clowns?
Have you ever tried to like you have to get a cat to the vet and you corner it into a corner and it's like
yeah. How
I felt like it.
totally. Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked their editing. It was pretty good.
We crossed the Delaware.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. Talk about our favorite celebrity, or Connor showed us shoes from celebrities running, and we talked about it. But
That pretty much sums it up.
anything else?
I think that's probably it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks to the team for making the first stop a great one. We look forward to seeing how this whole trip unwinds.
Yeah, thanks to New York Roadrunners for hosting us. The event was awesome. And of course, New Balance for taking us on this journey.
Yep. Congrats to Jarrett on getting
Yeah, congrats, Jarrett, on your PR.
Yay. And you know what? I didn't even take a nap after that race. So
Good, your practice, good practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need that for
the baby.
when you have a baby. Which, by the way, last thing, since I don't know, we'll do another podcast with you before you have a baby. Not you, but when you do the footprint thing, are you basically gonna have to get like a sidewalk for that baby because it's not gonna fit on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper?
Is that not something that the hospital takes care of? Or
Yeah,
is
I
that,
guess. Yeah.
Is it going to be like one of those things like if the foot comes out normal and you'd be like, thank God for Allie? Like, could have gone both ways.
Yeah.
The only thing that I am providing is potentially a good, nice olive skin complexion.
I think it's going to be a hairy baby.
Yeah.
Like
No, she's going to be adorable and perfect.
That's
that. Wait, you can't be hairy and
She
adorable
can
and
be.
perfect?
Yeah.
Okay.
She can be the
I think
bearded
he's just
woman on
saying that-
Coney Island.
I think he's saying that it's just not going to be like the babies that come out and like
Bald.
completely bald, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Hi, baby."
I had a mohawk. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. In fact, it's a little weird when you're waiting like a year for them to grow any hair. It's like,
Well,
get going already.
The hair, they come out with hair, then that hair falls out,
Mhm.
and then they get their real hair.
Yeah.
I don't understand
Unless
why.
it was my
It's like
kid
baby teeth.
who had a full wave out of the womb.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
What's
On that
happening?
note,
Okay.
All right. Well, that's it.
All right.
See you next
bye,
week.
Ma.